You're live. Corgi's live.
Yeah, you're live.
And I'm finishing my snack.
Well, snack, Evie. Trying a new lens setup, everybody.
How are you
Let us know.
showering and also typing at the same time? I'm so confused. Like, please explain the mechanics of how that happens. So hi everybody, I don't know if you've noticed, but currently we're using a slightly different lens than normal from what we normally use for live streaming. So we're going to see how this goes and how it looks and how it's different. Hopefully it looks better. And hopefully you guys can hear me, because that would also be a thing that we usually try to do.
They can't hear you?
No, I'm saying they to make sure everybody can hear me. Usually,
well, we can actually see if they can hear you.
You talk?
Yeah, hi.
Okay, they can hear you.
Okay, cool. Some people are saying it's kind of quiet. Is it, if I move it up, will that be okay?
Yeah.
Alright, I don't know.
Let me do that.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how this microphone works.
You point it.
I don't know what kind of microphone it is, I guess I should say. We're attempting to make audio better. That should work. I don't know if it's better.
Look at that. I can move it like, I can move the table like that and then like this, so it's
well,
off screen.
should it be like,
Yeah, hold on, stop.
Ah.
You just loosen the ball, and you point it right at Evie, and you tighten the ball. Okay, welcome to Tech Setup.
Welcome to setting up the things. And
it looks really good though.
Stuff. I like it. I think it looks nice. I think it looks way better than the lens that I normally use to film, but that's part of what we're going to be talking about today. So hopefully that sounds a little bit better. So I guess let's talk about what we're doing here today. So we're doing a PO unboxing. I've never done one before. And I have a ton of cool stuff to show you guys, most of which is directly related to Patreon stuff that's been happening. And Patreon making the overall quality of my videos significantly better. And actually, I've been watching a lot of ContraPoints videos again, and I realized at one point in time, like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, when Contra kind of first restarted her channel, that also that's a really smart idea.
I hope so. There's one possibility it may be a dumb idea, and that's conversations, but fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. I remember, well, I used that, so for everyone who's just like, what did you just interrupt your own sentence for? Our laptop occasionally has a problem of overheating, and or the camera has a problem of overheating, and now we're using the like sealed gel ice pack that we used for when I had my wisdom teeth removed to hopefully assist in the not overheating process.
You want me to show people?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
I think describing it was fine. So if I ask you to turn the volume up, I don't know.
Oh no, they're right.
Oh, so there was something.
Yeah, I normally set it at like minus 2.5 decibels, and I guess I knocked it or something.
No, minus 20 decibels.
Yeah, well.
So hopefully it should be louder.
So sorry anyone who's wearing headphones and had them turned all the way up.
We apologize deeply for this mistake.
Yeah.
So hard to hear. Okay, well we just turned up the volume, so hopefully it should be better now. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, that's the story I was telling about watching ContraPoints video. I remember there was at one point in time, where like 2 years ago when Contra was first restarting her channel, that like she had these amazing outros that would be like, my video looks like shit because I have no goddamn money. And I have green screen blur. Like it's so funny to like see how creators change so much like over the course of like 2 years, and like how their video production can change so much based on like the content that they're making, their experience of course, and also the support that they get from the followers. Super staticky.
Okay.
happening?
Oh. Wow, Charles, why don't you turn the microphone on?
Oh.
This
What?
Yeah.
Get the corgi fur off the microphone.
Yeah.
Also.
Okay. Hopefully that's
Final audio adjustment, I swear.
Well, hopefully.
So welcome everybody to the live stream. Now that we're officially starting with everything turned on 10 minutes in.
Yeah.
This is the quality that everybody
Turn
expects.
on by 10. That's the motto.
Okay, sounds way better. Okay, I was wondering when people were like, it's staticky, it doesn't sound as good. I was like, but nobody's mentioned that before. We use this microphone every time. I was very
No,
confused.
it's happened.
It's happened.
It is for sure.
I had work and then I had a doctor's appointment and then I had to go to the post office, all of which are like on completely different sides of the globe from each other as far as like where I work is concerned. So I've been running around. I literally got in the door 10 minutes before we were supposed to start streaming and I was like, time to go. And I was also really thirsty and now I have water.
Happily, water is something I can provide easily.
Hopefully, yeah, it's not like I require a Swedish massage before we begin the live stream. But we got that all fixed, so yeah, here we are. And so for those of you who are new, I know that a couple of you guys have asked questions so far and have wanted to know a couple things. So how this live stream works, it's like an interactive Q&A. You guys get to ask questions and interact in the chat, and I answer those questions, and we have a little conversation. It's usually pretty fun, but keep in mind like some basic ground rules. Don't share your exact location. Don't post your email address. I would hesitate to post your FetLife name. YouTube messaging is not what it once was, but there should be some kind of way to contact somebody if you're like, hey, specifically, here's my name if you want to like contact me after the stream is over. Do it not in the chat comment. And the reason for that is that the chat stays with the video and I post the videos after the live streams are done. So that means anybody from anywhere at any time can look back at this video. You've posted where you live, your email address or whatever, and if your Google account or whatever is associated with your real name or with a well-known username that you have from like other vanilla social media or email or whatever, makes it easy to connect you to this. And also just like general safety, it's probably a good idea not to do that. So I know there were a couple people last week who kept posting their locations. I just want to make sure that everybody's aware that that's not the safest practice. So you can do things like I live in California, or I'm on the West Coast, or I live in New Jersey, like whatever, like, but don't say I live in this city, in this state, like here's my home mailing address. Like don't do that. Be safe when you're on the internet. Because you never know who's going to have access to this live stream afterwards, basically.
And honestly, like, I think most people post those because they're like, hey, I want to find, like, good parties in, like,
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
California. And it's like, Evie's not that popular. I think it's very flattering, but the chance of...
I don't have
like,
omnipotent knowledge of all BDSM parties happening across the entire United States, unfortunately. Which is something I always find very interesting, and I appreciate that everybody like wants to have my input about where they can go for places. But if you ask me where to go in like Tallahassee, I'm not gonna know. Yeah, and also my policy is in general, even if it's a scene that I do know, if it's one that I've traveled to before, I don't talk about specific parties and specific dungeons because, again, this is like accessible to everybody, and I don't have control over like. If a 15-year-old who doesn't respect minors not being in kink decides, oh, cool, I'll stop by that dungeon, that sounds like fun, and they don't put two and two together. Like, I don't want that to happen. I don't want somebody who has, like, a vendetta against me or, like, thinks BDSM is evil to, like, be able to find out the location of a random dungeon or a munch and then, like, you know, harm somebody or blackmail somebody or me or anything like that. And it's really, like, BDSM is more open than it once was, and it's a lot easier to find stuff about than it once was, but it is still underground, and I take the priority of the safety of my community and maintaining that if the dungeon's website or the munch's website, like if it's not publicly accessible and they don't publicly list party dates or locations or whatever, I'm not going to share that information.
It's not a bad policy.
Because it's really, if you want to go, it's really easy to contact the place yourself or to find the information if you have a FetLife account. Because most places won't list their location on even FetLife until you RSVP like 2 days before the party. Anyways, but let's go ahead and look at some questions. Then I'll do the unboxing stuff a little bit later. But I know that people have been asking questions, so I want to make sure that I get to do that before I end up like 30 minutes behind in the stream. So what does the Emily says? 2 newbies in my local dungeon knew who you were when I suggested your channel. Your name's getting around. Whoa, that's actually crazy. I occasionally have people who tell me, oh yeah, I run this like Facebook group and I share your videos, or like I run a munch and I recommend people your channel, and I'm like, what? That's crazy. Like, it's so I mean, not to like not to like belittle myself or like be like, I don't want to like seem too humble and like not thankful or anything. I don't know, it's like weird balance trying to be like, that's really awesome. Like,
so fucking humble, I hate her.
So humble, god damn it. But it's like, it's so cool. It's like, what? And especially when I've had people come up to me at like dungeons and things, like the first time that happened to me, and I was like, you want me to sign something? What?
It's a very sweet moment.
It was a very sweet moment, and I didn't know what to do, and I had to practice my signature, so I felt bad, but I'm going to practice for next time.
Yeah, whoever got that, I got the super primo, the super.
That's going to be real expensive on eBay in 5 years, if eBay is still around.
There'll be like, there'll be a fucking, what's that show that's like Antiques in the Attic? Antique Roadshow.
Antique Roadshow. Antiques in the Attic sounds like something that would happen. His beloved says, Evie, what is your favorite act of service for Mr. Tex? And Mr. Tex, what is your favorite service act from Evie? I'm a service slave, and I always love hearing people's favorite service. I like cigar service the best, I think.
Cigar service is pretty good. But see, the challenge around cigar service is like, if I smoke a cigar every weekend.
I don't want him to prematurely die.
I like it when she prepares meals for me, but that usually, oftentimes, that it's service with a lowercase s. So that's why I do like getting my boots polished.
That is fun, but we don't do that like as regularly as I think we do like cigars and stuff.
And there might be something coming up in a week or so that I might want to have my boots polished before. So we might be doing that. We'll talk about that. Don't
what's planned? Is it something
I'm going to have Evie polish my boots soon. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay.
But then, yeah, Evie does a lot of the services. Cigar service is probably like my favorite big ass service. So.
It's a big S service. I like it. It's fun. It's good times. I like being on fire. Mel Afaro asks, Evie, your skin is absolutely glowing. Do you have a favorite skincare product or routine? Oh my gosh, somebody asked me about skincare stuff. Now I get to rant about skincare. I'm so excited.
Over.
Oh man, you guys don't know because I don't get to talk about beauty stuff. I should do more like get ready with me. I should do more like get ready for me is like going to a dungeon and stuff because I think people would. One, I think it'd be a good way to talk about how to dress, but then I also like just.
You're gonna have coming up next weekend.
So my current routine is I use a BHA in the morning, and I use like a CeraVe cleanser, like a natural like not super harsh on the skin cleanser, and then use the BHA liquid on my skin. And for those of you who don't know what like a BHA is, it's a type of acid that you put on your skin, and there's BHAs and there's AHAs and this whole thing about what you use for what stuff, and that basically helps like your pores stay clean and like helps with skin brightening. And then I used to use a sensitive skin Neutrogena daily moisturizer that had SPF in it, but they've discontinued the sensitive skin version, so I'm attempting a new replacement for that, which is Paula's Choice just came out with a resistance daily moisturizer that has SPF in it that's formulated for skin brightening and for sensitive skin, so I may try that out and see if it's a good substitute. And then at night I have a Curology prescription because I actually used to have really bad acne, and Curology is literally the one thing that cured it. and like got rid of it. Like I used to have acne like every single day. I would have acne pretty much between like 12 and 21. I had acne every single day and I always had to cover it up, and it would never ever fully go away. I did not have a single clear skin day between that entire period of my life, and Curology actually cured that right away, like first time around with the formula. And for those of you who don't know what Curology is, it's basically a customizable prescription formula that you actually work with a dermatologist through Curology to tell them what your skin issues are. You send them update pictures and everything so they can see how your skin is changing and reacting to the different formulas, and they use a lot of active ingredients that are not found in your average or even any really drugstore or easily accessible skincare products. So that would be things like zinc, promethione, and azelaic acid. I think the azelaic acid was really what helped my skin out, and different combinations of like 5 or 6 different things depending on what your skincare needs are. That really worked for me. And since then, a lot of the individual ingredients from what is in my Curology bottle have become available through things like Paula's Choice and through what is it? Oh, The Ordinary, which is another one of my. I know you can't help me. I was like, that one place I really wanted to go to in London because I didn't realize they had an actual store.
Yeah, again.
Those are like the 3 places I like going to shop for skin care stuff. Is like my Curology stuff, Paula's Choice, and then The Ordinary. And then I have a few things I've used that I still like have held over from Neutrogena because it's worked. And I'd rather not change it because it's kept working, but then they discontinue it, so I have to change it. And yeah, so that's what I use on my skin basically. And then yeah, and I find the Curology stuff is actually pretty moisturizing, so I don't use a moisturizer at nighttime, except for the fact that I'm using up a nighttime moisturizer thing I have from Neutrogena that I'm just using up, and I don't plan on continuing it. Partly because I don't want to have too many brightening things in my skincare routine because I like my freckles and I don't want them to go away completely. Though the winter will do that anyways. I don't want to speed it up. Anyways, that's my skincare rant. I hope everybody liked it. Or at least one person.
I'm sure they did. Evie Skincare blog win.
Yay! And I'm sure that was very professional and everybody was like, yes, I can understand totally what you're saying. Awesome Wookie asks, I'm a freshman at college with no BDSM experience. How can I find people on campus around my city? FetLife. Like, you have no idea how lucky you are to be on a college campus and be kinky. There are guaranteed to be kinky people in your exact city because you live on a college campus. There's no way that there's not. Like, if all else fails, like, that's my main advice to people is look for big cities and college campuses. Like, not because you want to be a creepy 35-year-old and go prowl on college campuses, but cities that have college campuses and have young, usually more experimental adults who are kind of coming into their own with their sexuality tend to be areas that have some semblance of a BDSM community, more so than like a dying town in Nebraska that has nothing but retirees and pensioners in it. So there's that. So I think you probably actually have a really good chance, just like wherever you live, FetLife, type it in the name. If that doesn't work out for you, Google where you live plus BDSM. There's a bunch of like different Google search term combinations you can use, but whenever we've traveled, whenever we've gone anywhere, whenever I've moved, I have never had any trouble finding a place simply by Googling wherever it is I'm going to plus BDSM, or wherever it is I'm going to BDSM dungeon, or wherever it is I'm going to plus munch. I have always been able to find something. It may not be regular, it may only be like once a month. Maybe it isn't exactly within a traveling distance that you can do very frequently, like maybe it's 45 minutes or an hour away, or you can't get there by bus or something like that, but usually there will be something, even if it's not like the most accessible thing ever, because it takes time and money to run things like munches and dungeons, and so if you live in a smaller place, it can be difficult to find people who have the financial ability and the like spare time in combination to be able to run those things. So yeah, you should probably actually have a not too difficult time, I hope.
Stay away from like frat type parties that are.
Oh, yeah, by
that
the
are, like,
way.
50 Shades parties or whatever. Like.
Do they post those kinds of things on FetLife? Does like a frat bro, like
I
Alpha
don't
Beta
think-
Chi, you know,
Look
like
very
BDSM party?
skeptically on a party that's not hosted in like a place that's like dedicated or like regularly used for kink, and also
Yeah.
not on FetLife.
How about don't go to a private house party? That includes going to. I went to a university that did not have a fraternity or a sorority system. We were very proud to not have a Greek life. Every 4 years, the entire college would vote like 90+%. We still don't want to have Greek life on our campus. So I luckily never had to deal with the frat boy bullshit. I just had to deal with like the other like our own. If they would have gone to another college, they probably would have been frat bros, but they didn't.
I mean, there's bros everywhere.
There are bros everywhere, but they didn't have an enabling structure around them,
Right.
and weird sexual rituals. Anyways, let's talk about frats. Let's talk about that. So yeah, if be wary of going to private parties, but that's kind of getting into like my like how to stay safe finding BDSM events spiel, and I don't know if people want to hear that for like the 87th time. So.
Well, if they do, they can put it in the.
If it doesn't sound right, don't do it. If your gut tells you, I might get murdered if I go here, listen to your gut. Because you know what? There will pretty much always be a second chance to go to something similar or even the same event. If it doesn't sound right to go that time, you'll have a second chance to reevaluate at some point in the future. So, you know, don't get too worried about missing out on this exact moment. Just kind of focus like long term, being able to find a like stable, healthy community and like stable, healthy like friendships and relationships. So Ellie asked, Evie, what is the most unusual pet you've seen? I hesitate to say weirdest because that seems low-key shamey. I'm curious what pets out there other than a normal pup or kitten or fox. You know what's really weird is most of the BDSM events I've gone to that have been pet play focused, like even the first BDSM event I went to, there was not like this clear like everybody's a kitten, everybody's a puppy, and there's nothing else. Like there were raccoons and weasels and wolves and dragons and mythical creatures and all sorts of like everything. So it's even hard to pick one that's the most unusual. I would think dragon is probably the most out there.
I sort of feel like the very act of like engaging in pet play is like the unusual thing.
Yeah.
It's like once you've come to grips with that.
I mean, who cares if you're a guinea pig,
yeah.
right? Poor Francis.
Poor Francis. Oh god. Oh no.
Poor Francis. Okay. Anyways, yeah, I would say probably dragon's the most one that I've seen that's like out there, but I've seen everything. Well, I mean, I've seen everything. I mean, I've seen a wide variety of pets that are not kitten and puppy, and I've been to events, and most of the pet play events I've gone to, the majority have not identified as one or the other. Like it's sort of like the minority is the majority. Like there's enough people playing enough different things that there's no one group that's like more dominant than the other.
Yeah.
You know,
oftentimes like once you make the bridge to like human who acts like an animal, oftentimes you will find a lot of people don't feel like one particular animal exactly fits them. And then so you get like a lot of hybrids or
I want to be a Pegasus.
Was it somebody? It was my favorite type of pedantry, and I forget exactly what it was about, but it was like, oh, it was about Monster Hunter World. It was like, oh yeah, so and so is part chimera, and then somebody popped up in the Reddit comments like, you mean all chimera? So yeah.
I mean, you could be part chimera and part something else, but that's not.
Chimera is a mix of animals.
Well, I know that, but you can still have something.
Are you saying
I'm
like
saying like
hierarchical?
no, I'm saying like genetically, I guess you could have something in a fantasy universe as like the result, like the offspring of like a chimera and like some other like fantasy creature. Haters gonna hate.
I know.
That's all I'm gonna say.
You should argue on Reddit about Monster Hunter World.
I will absolutely not do that.
Mm-hmm.
That is not drama I sign up for. What would you suggest for oily skin? Moisturize more. That is, from everything I've read and counterintuitive. But the reason why usually, with the exception of like if you have some kind of genetic condition or something, I don't know, because I'm not.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Noises.
I thought the volume was off.
That's why I always put headphones in my headphone jack constantly.
Except fucking Google has just gotten rid of headphone jacks.
That's why I want to upgrade my phone. I was like, didn't we make fun of Apple for this a year and a half ago? Why did we concede? Oh, it's because everybody wants smaller phones and like less bezels? Oh, okay. Dumbass design bullshit. Anyways, oily skin. I do not have oily skin. I have at least now that I've like got my skin in order, I have like normal skin. Like it's not particularly oily, it's not particularly dry. When I was a teenager, I had combination skin and I had a lot of dry patches because I was using a lot of really drying things to help clear up my acne, which ended up not working. And from what I found from like what has helped members of my family have oily skin and from people I know that have oily skin is like moisturizing more, like moisturizing every day, every night. It doesn't have to be a heavy moisturizer. There are a lot of places where, by the way, Reddit, skincare addiction, bringing back the Reddit. That is a great place if you want like really good advice about your skincare routine, things that are good for people with your skin type, matching makeup. That's makeup addiction, but there's like an overlap. That all really helps with kind of finding a good routine for you and what works. But moisturizing more is really good, making sure you're not using anything that's too drying. Like if you're using a face mask or something that's like sucking out all the oil out of your face like 3 times a week, your body is just going to produce more of it. And that's probably not what you want to have happen. So I would suggest trying to moisturize more. People want to see tutorials. Oh man, if I did tutorials in my makeup, I don't know. I don't know how I would do that, guys.
Probably wouldn't get you banned from YouTube.
Probably wouldn't get me banned from YouTube, but I'm not that good at
makeup. Or whatever.
Yeah, sure. I'm not that good at makeup. I would be nervous about
You're
it.
great.
I know, I'm not a makeup
you have done some, right?
That's true. We did one together, and then I did one that was like a get ready with me, but I don't do the makeup the way the YouTubers do makeup, sir.
Okay.
I don't do the highlighter. I don't believe in highlighter. I have opinions. I have opinions about all the fucking contouring and the highlighters.
Well,
people do it because it looks good on camera, despite the fact that it's not designed around a particular face shape, and the natural shape of your nose and your bone structure is more important than doing the lines in the same exact way that your favorite beauty guru does them. Not every nose needs like a nose tip highlighter. Not every cheek should have the highlighter right here. Like, there's not, and that's like the one thing that bothers me about makeup on YouTube is outside of like 1 or 2 people that are like professional makeup artists that do makeup on other people, nobody really talks about like, hey, this should be like customizable to your particular face shape, and like if you have bangs or not, if you wear glasses, like there's a lot of factors that go into doing makeup. And so I could do tutorials for eye stuff maybe, but I don't want to do it like I know what I'm talking about. It would be more like a get ready with me where I talk about the steps that I'm doing, and then hopefully it works out. Because I don't really do anything like that original, I guess. I don't know.
You know, being like honest or whatever, that can be original. You know what I mean?
It's sad that that's kind of true though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, time for the every week what are good punishments question. Check my Tumblr. Do I have?
We should just come up with like a random dumb one each time.
Oh man, good punishment: wearing wet socks. Having to walk around all day with your hands covered in honey. Having to wear thumbtacks in your bra. I don't know.
I'm trying to think of like something silly.
Are you saying having your hands dipped in honey and having to walk around with honey-covered hands all day is not silly? That is ridiculous. Who would do that?
Forcing you to do your taxes and then after you're done, like shredding them.
Do them again.
Yeah. Not even doing them again, but it's just like you don't even. This was valueless.
You have contributed to society in approximately 0 ways.
Taking a popular YouTube video and clipping all of the thes.
All the ums. We're checking my commands to see if I actually have something that links to the punishments. Aha, I do! I am so smart. Thank you, past me, for helping current me.
Yeah.
There's my giant list. And I also have a video coming out. Well, it'll be coming out a while for you guys. Hopefully it's not too disappointing. But I have a video coming out in the near future, in the next several weeks, about punishment for masochists, and I talk about like specific ideas. Hopefully,
and we did a podcast on it.
We did a podcast about it also. So more punishment-related materials are coming to you shortly.
Yeah. Well, you fill your fucking boots with punishment.
Oh man, I think that was like, if I had to pick like, I mean, I think I knew I didn't know I was kinky, but kind of one of the things I can look back on and be like, I was fucked up when I was a kid, was when my cousin was going to college and we had like dinner with his mom and the whole family, and like he was always like a real jokester and like a prankster, and so I was helping him come up with like fraternity pranks, and so I would come up with like the weirdest shit, like put like grape jelly in their shoes, so then they step in their shoes, they would have to have jelly in their shoes.
You're like Louise.
Yeah, like Louise. I should cosplay as Louise.
I saw a guy cosplaying as Louise, or someone who was presenting masculine.
Nice.
Or there was an element of...
Was he going as Louis? Or was he going as Louise? But that's my,
That's Evie's...
That's my spiel.
deal.
I don't talk about what I do for my vanilla life, not even in a general category.
Y'all
It's
don't want to know. It's so...
Even though I told
Life
you
is
guys.
boring.
Yeah.
What people do for real life is like fucking boring.
Like when you it's better not knowing, because then you get the curiosity. But once you know, it's just like, oh, that's it. And
Just
it's
be
like
like,
boring.
okay, cool. So.
Let's maintain the mystique, shall we?
Yeah. And I feel like now by like saying y'all don't want to know, people like, now we want to know even harder. And I'm just it's like one of those things where
It'll never be better.
I literally mean you don't want to know.
It's just like, yes, Lexi, I feel punishments depend on the person and the reason for the punishment, absolutely. And
On
that's,
the people.
like, it totally depends on your individual relationship and why you're doing the punishment and all that stuff. So that's why it's, like, hard to give suggestions, because, like, there's always that fear, because I have many fears being an educator on the internet. Where I'm gonna say, oh, you should do this thing, and then somebody goes and just does it, and like it turns out to be super dramatic or traumatic for their partner, and then it's like not a good situation, and then I feel bad because I gave that suggestion, and they were like,
So Evie, I had someone wear wet socks, and it turns out that when they were a child, their parents forgot to pick them up at soccer practice, and it started raining, and then and then it's like, well, I'm
turned out to be
sorry.
this whole psychological issue.
Yeah.
So yeah, my overarching advice for punishment is really, you can do potentially anything as a punishment. The only things that matter are that it's negotiated within somebody's limits, and it's something that you discuss beforehand. Like, you just don't go without talking about it ever at any point, like, okay, so I decided that you broke a rule, and so that means now I get to drown you in the bathtub. Like, that's not how you do that, right? Like, that's bad. But kind of anything outside of that, if you're talking about, okay, we're setting up this relationship, we're talking about something that happened after a rule was broken, here's what I think about punishments, knowing what I know about your limits and boundaries. Is that going to be a thing that works, or is it going to be a thing that's going to cause unbelievable trauma?
My brain parsed a rule was broken as a walrus broke in.
A walrus did break in,
Yeah.
and you were a security dog,
And
you let that
now
happen.
it's like, walrus broke in, you know what that means. Ass in the air.
I know nothing about that. Anyways, that's my spiel about punishment. So yeah, you can get really weird and ridiculous with it, because BDSM is weird and ridiculous.
Yep. Be mindful of the energy you're looking to achieve for the scene, and like keep that in mind. Like having a really serious punishment type scene, like where somebody broke like, a major rule or whatever, isn't benefited by having them wear clown makeup.
Hitting them
like
with a rubber chicken.
What's that?
Hitting them with a rubber chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's about tailoring it to the event and the relationship and like all that good stuff.
It's one of those things like where it's like why we're so reluctant to sort of ask that question is because it's like, I don't know, I don't know you or your relation, and it's like I put a lot of thought into punishments like based on who they are and what's going on.
So just be thoughtful, basically.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing with rules too. Like it's like, what are good rules to have? I don't know. Anything? You can make a rule out of anything and punishment out of anything.
Yeah.
The world's crazy. The world is your oyster.
The rules set actually had a really good post not too long ago. That's just like he just talked about his like baseline rules, which is like be punctual, be polite, be articulate, and those are like good ones. And you can like kind of make up your own. Like if people like obviously don't have a rule that's like articulate if someone has like a stammer.
Yeah. Somebody has yeah, exactly. Anyways, that's the dealio. So
I'm not saying people with stammers can't be articulate, but it's like be thoughtful.
Who's Lord Morpheus? Somebody asked if I recognize that name.
That sounds familiar.
It sounds fucking familiar. I'm Googling him.
It really does.
But it's also because it's Morpheus.
Like big ass Dom.
Sounds like
Some
he's
big
Dick Dom.
That's
Probably.
probably do an expose video.
Okay, I'm totally recognizing his... No, I don't recognize his Twitter. But I feel like I recognize... I don't know. I don't think I know this person specifically. It's also really hard to Google because I'm basically getting... I'm getting search results for anything related to like the DC universe and horse racing, and also Final Fantasy 14, and I don't understand.
Maybe they're asking you about your opinions on the DC character Lord Morpheus.
Okay. Looks like I changed my Google search a little bit. He's a Canadian sex educator, author, and photographer based in New York. I'm just gonna read his Wikipedia page. And he's the author of How to Be Kinky, Be Kinkier, More Adventures in Adult Playtime, and Bondage Basics. I've not read any of those books, but the name is like so familiar. I just don't know. I just haven't read any of
How
his
to Be Kinkier, that's definitely a book I've got. I can't remember if I've read it. So.
I mean, the like cover art is very
Yeah, though having some affiliation with like self-publishing in a previous employment, I don't literally can't judge a book by its cover because that's sometimes the best people can do.
You're like, this is what we can find for free on the internet. But he is a photographer. Maybe he could shoot his own covers. I don't know. I'm not judging too hard. It's just a funny observation because that's how when BDSM books are self-published. Because there's almost always significant, unbelievable errors in the Kindle edition. Oh, okay, yeah. I recognized How to Be Kinkier. Like, I recognize the book covers for this. I know that that's probably where I recognize his name is from the cover. I haven't read it yet, because honestly, the cover art turned me off, because it looked like, oh, this is a vanilla person's idea of what BDSM looks like. And so I didn't read it yet. But not saying that he's bad. That was like my first impression, and I did judge a book by its cover. Because I have 40 goddamn books on the Kindle, and I only have so much time. I only have so much time.
That's true. I don't let her have too much time.
Favorite geekdom? I'm a huge fan of Doctor Who. My sister's trying to turn me into Star Wars, but I'm struggling. Probably...
For a minute I thought you were talking about yourself. I thought you were answering the question.
No, that's from
his
mouth.
I don't give a shit about Star Wars anymore. I
don't give a shit about Star Wars. I'm like, it's a universe filled with nothing. Opinions about Star Wars. I like Star Trek.
We like Star Trek ED.
We do?
That was the first movie we saw
I
together.
remember the original we saw together.
It was a great movie. And they've been a little hit and miss, but they have been churning out garbage fires on the regular. So.
It's true. And I've watched Doctor Who. I'm not really into it. Not really my dealio. I like video games. That's my thing.
Did you see like little Harvest Moon Dragon Cafe, little maid cafe, Harvest Moon type of thing?
What?
It's called like Little Dragon Cafe.
Little Dragon Cafe. What is
See if I
this?
can look this up.
Oh my goodness. Little Dragon
You
Cafe.
run like a cafe and you have to like grow things.
Is it like
to-
Cooking Mama? Little Dragon's Cafe. No, I haven't seen that before. I didn't know there
Is
was
it
a
on Switch?
thing. Oh wow, look, he's got a dragon. Kind of reminds me of like Wind Waker a little bit in the art style.
Yeah, it's definitely got like that art style.
That's cute. I might want to play that. They gotta raise a dragon. That sounds like it's high pressure. You've ever tried to raise a dragon before? It's hard. They
And
got
keep a business afloat.
and keep a business afloat. I mean, God, you're only 12 years old. How are you supposed to raise a dragon by yourself and run a business? Anyways, that's the thing. I'm gonna check that out later. What does the Emily say? Says, Bake for Jay is the epitome of a frat boy getting a hold of kink culture. Pretty much.
Yeah, that was
Pretty
the really
much.
interesting thing that stuck out to me in Brittany's video was the people talking about like how vanilla he would act in a lot of cases. And I was just like, is this just like somebody who's like found kink and just like thinks it's the easy way of like appealing online?
What if he's really a pickup artist?
I don't know. I mean, he's certainly
What
a
if he took the
predator.
red pill?
Speaking of,
What if he's a man going his own way?
I found out a friend of mine's brother is apparently into MGTOW, so.
There's a whole other side of YouTube that can discuss this. I am not thoroughly educated. But I think that definitely makes sense as a comparison. Ellie also asks, is it safe for me to use my adult passy when I have braces? I'd probably say no, but I'm not an orthodontist, so I'm not sure I can answer that question.
Yeah. We should do a video or a podcast on like how to lie to your medical professionals for like getting like just kind of
Getting
not exactly
how to get
lying.
information about kink stuff
Yeah.
without having to tell anybody what you're actually doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I would think about it the same way. Like, so first of all, from what I understand, like using an adult pacifier all the time isn't good for your teeth anyways. So probably don't use it all the time anyways, but if you're using it occasionally, I would assume that it's probably not the best thing in the world for your braces, but I don't know how not good for your braces it is. It just doesn't seem like it would be something that would be okay. Like, there has to be some, like, because basically what it is putting, like, the sucking motion is putting pressure on your teeth in a different way than what the braces are trying to do to correct the teeth, so it may actually impact. Like, if you're doing it all the time, like you're using a pacifier for like 6 hours a day or whatever, that's going to impact how your teeth are moving in the process of having the orthodontia done.
It's something you just need to talk with your orthodontist and like come up with some excuse.
Yeah.
That like allows you to actually communicate what you need with them. Because we can't answer that type of thing.
Yeah, I don't even know how you would do that, because I'm not sure what a adult-like thing, other than maybe like a mouth guard, but that's not the same thing at all. Like something that you would have in your mouth that you would. Well, actually, what you could do is, you know, the like the Nalgene bottles, like they have like kind of a tip on them that you suck through, and you can like, hey, I have like an Nalgene bottle, and I drink all my water from that every day, and like I'm sucking on it all the time. Like, is that something that's going to be okay for my braces or not? It's definitely a different size than an adult pacifier, but it's probably the closest thing you could think of that you don't have to tell your orthodontist that you're sucking a pacifier. So that would be what I would do. But it's tough to know because I'm not a doctor, not an orthodontist, not any of that. And I also don't use pacifiers, so I don't know shit. It's basically, I can only throw darts and close my eyes and hope they land. somewhere in the
that's-
proximity of an answer.
It's flattering. It's flattering. It's always flattering when people like come to us and ask for advice on stuff. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of times
Get
it's
nervous
just
about
like,
saying the wrong thing and being like,
yeah.
Evie, you told me that using my pacifier was okay, and now my teeth are ruined. Like, I'm gonna have nightmares about that later. Not really, but like, that's how my brain works. Is I'm like, if I say the wrong thing, people could die. Like, that's my brain catastrophizes really easily. It's like its favorite thing to do is like, what's the worst way that this could possibly be taken? That's the most likely option.
Okay, we can make that worse.
Yes.
Juice it.
Yes, make it worse. Make it worse. Anyways. I love the crocodile / alligator emoji. I think that one's my favorite emoji.
It's a great emoji.
My favorite one.
We've got a group chat with some of our friends, and I keep changing the name of the room to different emoji combos.
Yeah.
Currently, it's kiwi, a bird, a kiwi, and I forget. Oh, right, because it was a kiwi eating kiwi.
Cannibalism. So Evelyn asks, I'm wondering if you have any advice on dealing with medical practitioners while having marks and bruises. I've got a minor operation coming up, but I'm bruised and I'm worried about it now.
You bruise easily, or you do roller derby.
Yeah, exactly. I do roller derby. My policy, and I have a whole video about this where I talk about how to talk to how to talk as a kinky person to therapists and to doctors. Like, my doctor knows that I'm kinky. My doctor knows that I'm in an open relationship. Like, my doctor knows that, and when I go in for my yearly exam, they ask me any concerns with abuse in the past year in this relationship, and I tell them no, and that's all that comes up, and that's it. Doctors have seen everything. They are doctors, so that means they have to deal with all of the weird, scary shit, like, as a job every day. And so having somebody with a bruised ass is not going to be, like, they would rather, like, know than, like, discover it as a surprise and have to, like, awkwardly explain it. Like, if you can be like, I do roller derby, or I bruise easily, or I do martial arts, or whatever, like, come up with something, and that should be fine. I don't know what type of operation you're having. I would assume that it's probably not going to impact anything, but you can also tell the doctor, like, hey, I have some bruising, not mention where it's from, or what it's from, or where it is, just like, hey, I have some bruising. Is that any reason that would cause concern for the operation itself? And I can't think of any reason why it would be an issue, but that's how I would handle it. I am very much in the vein of, like, where you can tell the truth or the closest thing as possible to the truth, because being caught up in lies, and especially a series of lies, can make it seem like you're trying to cover up abuse. And you don't want to give your doctor the impression that you're trying to cover up abuse, because then they'll hand you a giant packet of papers that say go to this local women's shelter and, like, all that jazz, and I'm sure you don't have to deal with that awkwardness. So where you can like be proactive, let them know, like, that's how I screen out, like, primary care providers, because I have the somewhat ability to do that with the options I currently have for my healthcare, and with therapists too. Like, I let them know right away, like, hey, here's the type of relationship that I'm in. I'm letting you know now, so if at any point during the time that I have to see you as a practitioner, this is not the result of abuse, this is the result of consensual, negotiated, kinky sex, and that's all it is. Don't worry about it. I'm fine. That's my advice, though.
And you have a right to a doctor that makes you feel comfortable.
True.
So, like, you know, if after sharing you feel like they aren't handling it well, find another doctor. Or go looking for another doctor. I know it's not easy for everyone, but you absolutely have that right.
Okay, so they are also saying they had a heavy session, and I'm kind of terrified in trying to explain more than a bruised ass. I mean, it's already happened. You've done it. If it was me personally, I knew I had an operation coming up where I would need to be in a dressing gown, I probably would have not decided to do heavy play the night before, but it's happened, so you kind of deal with it. I don't know what kind of operation it is. I know some operations, they specifically tell you not to wear makeup, and they tell you not to have painted fingernails and all that jazz, so, like, you don't really have the option of covering up with makeup, potentially. It's probably not going to work anyways. It's there's no way to undo what's been done, so you just have to kind of wing it. And maybe in that case, I don't know anything because I don't know anything that's happened with the operation. If you're doing with the doctor or hospital or outpatient procedure, whatever. If it's near where you're doing the operation, I assume that you'll probably want to bring it up so that way they know how to deal with that part of the skin during that process. If you're getting something done in the completely opposite part of the body, and chances are they're never gonna like see it or notice it, that I don't see why you need to bring it up unless they specifically ask you about it. But that's me.
Yeah. My only concern
Which you can't undo that you've already done the bruising. That's not gonna because my advice would have been don't do that play before you have an operation.
I'm actually wondering if there was like an issue where a partner didn't understand or didn't respect. And that's the thing that concerns me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Was this someone like, hey, I got an operation, you gotta go easy on me, and then they didn't go easy on them?
It sounds like, based on the rest of the comment, that it was probably like accidentally bruised more than easily kind of situation.
People should understand, like, you can kind of roughly gauge how a bruise might turn out, but honestly,
You don't know.
bruises aren't science.
They're not.
They're magic.
Yeah. So my general advice is if you know something's coming up or you're going to have to deal with the dressing gown and medical professionals is to hold off on the heavy play until after it's done so you can avoid that awkwardness. But if it's already happened, you just kind of got to face the music.
You gotta lean into it.
Gotta lean in and accept the awkwardness and understand that doctors and nurses and surgeons have legitimately seen everything. There are legitimately people who have to pull like Barbie dolls and Coke cans and shit out of people's buttholes on a regular basis. Like,
Yeah, the
a
bubble
bruised
dent.
ass is not the most severe thing that they have ever heard of or seen.
Yeah.
They will probably ask you and make sure that you're okay, you're not in an abusive situation, because that's like part of what they do as medical professionals is trying to like intercept abuse situations. But if you can answer truthfully and honestly this like a consensual kink situation, you should be okay.
And like, so one of the things oftentimes, it's a big hospital or whatever, they may have a social worker come in and talk to you. That's something to keep in mind if a situation feels weird, if like someone is coming in, they won't be wearing a lab coat or anything like that, or a doctor's coat. And they may ask you like questions that are just like about your relationship. That's what's going on, and that's like for you to be like pre-armed with that knowledge. I mean, the shit happens. Talk to them, be honest, don't be evasive.
Yeah. Because if you're like, I'm fine, they're like, okay.
Consensual BDSM is well recognized as like a thing adults engage in
Yeah, in the mental health field. Different, depending on kind of where you go to school for that and like what your training consists of, different people in the medical and in the mental health field are different levels of educated, but especially social workers, I would imagine, would be the most likely group to know about it in terms of this is a thing that impacts the dynamics of people interacting with each other. Anyways, that's my opinion. Hopefully it helped. Oh god, I'm at the bottom of the chat. What have I done? Scroll up, scroll up, scroll up, scroll up.
Now you're just crushing it with questions.
Scrolling away.
Scrolling. Keep those doggies scrolling. Then ride.
Okay, I'm at the part now where people... Would exfoliating with moisturizing helps? Depends on the exfoliation. Something like a BHA is actually an exfoliator, and that would help your skin. I do not recommend that you use physical exfoliants, like don't use St. Ives, don't use microbeads, like don't use anything like that. Like if you abrade the skin, you're basically causing micro tears in your skin, which is really not great for it. And even if you can't feel it, even if you can't see it, that's basically what's happening, and that's not the best option. So like doing a chemical exfoliator like a BHA or an AHA is usually the best option, and there are different ones that are formulated to deal with different skin types. And I think the BHA I use is actually formulated for normal to oily skin. Well, no, highlighter's a controversial opinion that makes you my problematic fave now. But I like your looks, though. I mean, I have opinions about how people use highlighter, and it's because it's like everybody does it the exact same way, regardless of if it actually like accentuates their features in the way that highlighter is like supposed to do. Like, not everybody's supposed to have Rudolph nose, y'all, and I don't think not everybody's supposed to have pencil nose either. Like, do things that work for your face shape, not what works for Laura Lee or whoever. The makeup people. Everybody who does makeup on YouTube is so like. Everybody who does like I can't name anybody because they're also like controversial and they all get embroiled in their own weird like their own weird drama. Makeup drama is very real. I think it's fine if people should do highlighter however they want. However, I don't want to promote the idea that one highlighter fits all face shapes. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
I think creativity is fun, but I hate how everybody promotes the idea that makeup is supposed to be one way, and this is how you do contours. This is how you do highlighter.
Evie,
No.
if men find out we can change the shape of our faces.
I remember that video.
Mm-hmm. That's like my sole video reference.
Yes, if I was forced to do taxes, I would always behave. Man, imagine having to file quarterly taxes. You'd never misbehave again. Be like, oh snap. Is this the 12 or 6 hour stream? It's neither. So Candace, I was talking about potentially doing something like that, but obviously this is not it because we reached that big goal on Patreon. So I was thinking one day we might do like a long stream day and like do crafts or like
do like a morning, like start in the morning.
Start in the morning
for your Euro viewers.
Yeah, do like a little coffee and doing submissive tasks and things like that. It might be kind of fun. But this is not it. Not today. Maybe in the future.
Yeah, we need prep.
I need prep. I need to come up with a date and a time.
We've got people. Over. So.
We have people.
Yeah. I got to the take the dog for a walk level.
That's the best level.
It's a great level because it's got the pupper in the background.
Yes, dog.
And it's a nice slow
Take
level.
a dog outside.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's
so
like
funny.
The music is really like almost like kind of trance-inducing, like the dog is trying to hypnotize you. You know, Malcor's like, I should eat. Exactly.
Brittany says, please do makeup. Okay, I'll do makeup. Everybody. Brittany says I have to do makeup.
I mean, like, part of the thing is, like, honestly, like, you saying, like, you don't know how to do it like the other people do it, like, you wouldn't be able to do that, I think that's a good thing. Because, like, you're not gonna, like, make a big splash if you just do the same shit other people do.
No, that's not true in the makeup world. That's not true. Everybody gotta do it the same way. Gotta do it the same way.
Fight the power, Evie. You can't fight City Hall.
But I can fight YouTubers. Like,
I mean, I don't know. Alright, let's say you had a YouTube makeup artist street fight. Who would you put as, like, your top tier? Who would be, like, your heavyweight tier?
Heavyweight tier? I'd probably put Jeffree Star out there because I think he's crazy and he has fake teeth.
Yeah.
You know what that means? He doesn't have to worry about breaking anything in his teeth. Like, they're all fake. Like, he'll destroy you. Yeah. He'll destroy you. Probably top tier.
Yeah. I feel like he's the final boss.
Yeah, he's like the evil boss of like all the other competitors, and when you like get to the final level, he like comes on a throne that raises up into the sky, and there's like dramatic like smoke effects and shit. that would be top tier. Okay, baby girl asked, what self-care would you recommend since we did a spanking scene and Sir had to leave for work unexpectedly? I have a whole video about self-care actually, so I'd recommend watching that, is what I'd say. In general, I think if, like, address physical needs first. Make sure you're hydrated. If you feel sleepy, if you feel hungry, make sure you're taking care of that. If you're worried about bruising, get like a packet of frozen peas or an ice pack or something and put that on wherever you got the spanking done. You know, taking a hot bath or shower can be really relaxing. Listening to nice music, watching a TV show you like. There's all kinds of ways that you can kind of do intermediate self-care. I think the main thing is just not overexerting yourself if you are experiencing, like, feeling like you need to come down from the scene in some way.
Yeah. But I think self-care is one of those things, like, if you're a submissive in the scene, you have to practice it. Because it needs to be, like, it needs to be in your toolkit.
Apparently there's a show called Sex Sent Me to the ER.
Well!
That sounds like something TLC would do.
Yeah. We actually have a friend who's studying to become an EMT, and they're quite excited about all the stories and stuff they'll get to hear about.
Oh, yeah. And that's also, so one other thing to note about, like, how do I tell my doctor I'm kinky is, like, being a medical professional is, like, one of the number one occupations of kinky people.
We are good friends with a surgeon.
Yeah.
We have gone to a class taught by, like...
Classes.
Yeah, classes taught by somebody. She's
EMT,
like the head,
surgeon.
like, response, like... She's not just a surgeon, she's like the surgeon.
Yeah, like she's like the head teaching surgeon at like some big wig, like university or whatever. Like we've taken classes from surgeons, doctors, EMTs, nurses of all varieties, physical therapists, like... There are a shitload of people who are kinky, and a lot of them work in the medical field. So you may even have somebody working with you who's aware of kink and does kinky stuff themselves. Not that you should ever ask your doctor if they're kinky, because that would be really awkward, and I don't think that's even necessarily ethical.
Yeah, like right.
But they will have awareness, probably, and hopefully conduct themselves in a professional manner.
I hear you.
Trying to find the next question, guys, just by the way. People are like, what's Evie doing? Because y'all are chatting in the chat, and that's what we should be doing, but I don't want anybody to feel left out.
Yeah, because, like, I mean, honestly, like, a lot of stuff where people ask a question, I think that's one of the things that makes this format work really well. Like, people will ask us a question, or ask Evie a question that's, like, we just can't answer, but, like, somebody in the chat can.
It's true.
So, I think that's great. Y'all help each other out. That's good.
It's so nice.
Howdy, y'all. I'm wondering if I should play this game out in music, because I just, like, picked it up, and now I'm, like, on a stage I rarely get to.
Is it better without music? The rhythm game is better without the sound?
But it's not really rhythm. They, like, kind of have, like, a faux rhythm aspect to it. I mean, it's basically a puzzle game.
Okay, so I think let's go ahead and just start doing the unboxing stuff.
Ooh.
So we can make sure that all that gets done before the stream is over. And then also probably, what are we doing for dinner?
Or something. I don't know what friend.
Yeah, that's what I was...
This friend is hanging out with other friend.
Okay.
And a friend.
We have friends who have other friends because we like our friends to have healthy relationships with others, and we don't want to monopolize their time.
I only like the worst fucking way. I want my friends to just be, like, destroyed internally.
You can only love me.
Yeah. Only.
I am the only one who truly knows you. So I'm gonna use a box cutter to open these packages,
Wow.
which I have skillfully placed below me even though I have blacked out the addresses to just make sure that nothing weird happens. So let's look at the first thing that we got.
Better
Actually,
than it was the last time, baby.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
It's so sad that that can't be released as an actual album. Dude, just used a bunch of samples.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the problem with like mixtape culture.
So where can you find it then if it's not?
Oh, you can find it everywhere on the internet. You just can't like add it normally to like a
Ta-da!
play. You know, we can't publish a scene playlist that's got that.
Oh, this is cool. I didn't know it was gonna come in like a little bag. I got a corset! Yay! And it comes in a little bag. So he's paying attention. He's like, what? This is something I want to try and get into daily wear with, potentially, maybe? I'm not sure yet. But this is
It's really
a
cute.
little... How do I hold this up?
Mesh.
Actually, I didn't realize it had like black for the busk, so that's really cool. It's like a little waist piece style corset, and it has this like sports mesh on the
I
sides.
love it. It's a sporting corset.
It's a sporting corset, and I got this because I thought it would be easiest for me to figure out how to put on myself because it's shorter and like easier to wear. So I might put that on later and see how it fits. But I got a corset. That's number one thing that I got, and it is from Mystic City Corsets, which one of my friends here recommended, who also does corsetting.
The one who really does it?
Yeah, the one who really does it.
Okay.
The one that does the things.
Yes,
that's
that
fancy.
does the things.
That is the fancy.
Yeah. The one she has like what I like about her is her color choice, because a lot of it's like, yeah. Because her last one was like almost tan, right?
Yeah, I mean you can get like a bunch of different colors, but I just wanted something that was plain, and I like black,
Yeah.
and I will not be ashamed.
Yes.
I don't have to wear color if I do not want to, Mom.
No, I like eating black. I keep eating black. I just buy a bunch of black things.
That's
Maybe
true.
a little splash of red or purple.
Sometimes
Actually,
white.
It's just eating purple. It's like really sad now, you know, because like if you follow lingerie, like a lot of kind of like the more fashion-oriented ones do like spring stuff, and it's like floral and spring.
But it's gonna be fall. That's the color. That's the time for darkness.
Exactly.
Give me the darkness.
Like black on black with silver accents and like splash of red. Perfect.
Perfect. Or like a good purple.
FW. Fuck
So
SS.
yeah, this is the corset I got is the MCC6. It's a cotton and sports mesh corset. It's 20 inches. I'm excited to see how it goes. This is the next thing. This is like the stuff I'm really excited about. Because it's YouTube related stuff, and I'm so excited to show you guys my YouTube related things, because that's what I do. Doing all the bad shit you shouldn't do with box openers, like having the blade pointed towards me. There's packing peanuts in here. So, I got a new camera lens. This is the Panasonic Letica Summilux 15mm f1.7, which basically for
Pretty open aperture.
pretty open aperture. So basically, your Sony uses like does it use
It's
the
a
E
micro
mount?
four thirds.
Oh, it uses. I thought Sony
It's
used.
a larger sensor,
Oh, it's the
APS.
APS-C or whatever.
but it is an E mount lens.
That's what I'm talking about. So like not compatible with the Panasonic.
Right.
It's a 4 Mark III's camera, but the lens mount is different because Sony has to be special. And anyways, Panasonic. I have the Panasonic G7. That's what I've been using to film with since like last November. And I've been using the like standard kit lens, which is fine. It's a zoom lens. It has an aperture that's like 3.5 to 7, I think is its aperture range, and 3.5 doesn't get low enough to have this blurry effect behind it. This I don't know what your camera lens is, like 1.4.
I want to say it
1.
goes down to 1.8, but because it's a micro four third.
Micro Four Thirds doesn't affect
Okay,
doesn't
you're
affect
right.
the f-stop. It affects the
Yeah, it goes down to 1.8.
Goes into 1.8.
Yeah.
Basically what that means is the lower the number, the more light it lets in. So like a 3.5 doesn't have enough light getting into it to create this nice background contrast, which is something I really want in my videos because I am just sitting and talking at the camera and I like having more separation from the background. So hopefully this
It helps,
1.7 aperture will help with that. Also because it gets heckin' dark here in the winter and I want to be able to film without having to have every single light turned on in my house and a ring light at the same time. So hopefully this will help with that. And the 15 millimeter is a wider angle. I got another Panasonic lens probably about a year ago. That's a 25 millimeter f.1.4. And that one lets in more light obviously than this one does, but it was too narrow, so I'd have to have the camera really far away because in micro four thirds turns that's the equivalent of like a 50 millimeter, which I got because it's really true to the natural eye, so there wouldn't be any distortion. But I realized that I had to be so far away, it was affecting the quality of the audio in the video, and I couldn't see myself in the viewfinder, which was just weird, and I didn't like it. So I got this one because it's a bit wider, so you actually see more of the background when it's blurred out. Because I feel like if you can't see the background, what is the point of having that nice bokeh effect if nobody can actually tell that it's happening because there's not enough background? Anyway, so that's what I got for this. Hopefully you guys will notice a really good quality increase with like the actual visuals of my video. Now that I have this, I'm going to try it out later. Also, the Letica series is like the brand, actually it makes its own lenses, but Panasonic like worked in conjunction with them to like make this, and they're really, really high quality. It's supposed to be very nice, so I'm excited to see how this goes. And I actually bought this from somebody like locally. This camera lens is actually not cheap. It's not an expensive lens because lenses can be like thousands of dollars just by themselves. But I got this used on eBay, like brand new. Like you can see it's like in the box still for like half price or something. And I was like, yeah, I will definitely buy that for half price. Thank you very much. But that's that. So hopefully, because I don't film using the same camera that we use for the live streams, so this camera that you guys are like seeing right now that I'm filming with, live streaming with, is like, it doesn't come with me. But you should see a somewhat similar effect to like what's currently happening.
You'll figure it out.
I'll figure it out. I'll take some experimenting. I really like the way that this looks. Like this looks cool. So I'm excited to see if my lens can do something similar.
I was testing it out for the recording I did.
Spoiler alerts.
I don't know if you want to keep it to that, so.
Yeah, exactly. Let's not.
Let's figure out what that's like. But yeah.
Yeah. Point is, spoiler alerts. So the next thing that I got is another YouTube thing. Actually, most of this is YouTube stuff. Because y'all have made it possible through the power of Patreon for me to not have videos that look like crap. So thanks.
I think that was gold tier.
That was
Videos stop looking like garbage.
Yeah, exactly. My videos stop looking like trash.
Speaking of no game, we should play
What?
tonight. Donut Country.
Donut Country. We do that voice a lot tonight.
Have a garbage day.
Have
That's
a
what my
garbage
game
day.
says.
I want to talk about this microphone. Can I
Yes,
talk about the
do.
microphone? So this microphone, I am absolutely jazzed about. So I use currently Sir's Rode Video mic, which is like their oldest model. First of all, it's not bad.
It's better than a lot of road
It's
stuff.
better than a lot of stuff. And I was looking at upgrading to a different Rode microphone, and the Rode Video Mic Plus had like features I would never use because it's meant for like filmmaking where you're filming other people. And the Rode Video Mic Pro, it just didn't seem like audio-wise, it didn't seem different enough. And then I started watching comparison videos, and I found this, which is, yeah, which is, I mean, German, right? Always the good engineering. This is a Sennheiser. What is the actual? It's a Sennheiser 440 MKE, which, as you can see, has these like little weird bunny ears on them. And basically, what this does is the mic that we normally use is like it goes straight like this, right? Like it's a shotgun microphone, and this is basically like two shotgun microphones put together in a V shape. And what that does is it allows you to record stereo sound, which sounds so much better than like a mono sound. Like I was listening to comparisons between the Rode mic, the Video Mic Pro, which is actually better than the microphone I currently use, and this, and it was like it sounded so much more natural. It sounded like so much more depth of sound. Like it just sounded like a fuller sound because it is in stereo rather than mono. And it's actually specifically designed for 2 people sitting together and talking. So like this is going to be perfect for like when Mr. Tex and I do videos, when I have friends, when I interview people. This is going to be great, and it sounds really good even with just one person in front of it. As opposed to a shotgun microphone, which is like if you're sitting too far apart from each other, then like the voices can kind of sound wonky. I don't know how to describe it exactly because I'm not a sound engineer, but like this is going to be really good for like having more than one person on my channel talking.
It picks people up differently, right?
Yeah.
Because the microphone's not pointed directly at both people.
Yeah.
So, whereas that one, because it's got the 2 capsules, you can do post-processing and other. It's got fancy algorithms and stuff.
Fancy algorithms. So I'm really excited about this. I also got this is actually a factory warranty full refurbished thingy, which normally I'd be kind of wary about, but Sennheiser has a really good warranty program and they stand by their equipment. So I'm really excited to try this out because it's one of those things where it's like you don't realize how much better the audio is until you listen to it side by side and you're like, holy shit, this sounds completely different. And I'm just excited. I'm excited. Quality improvements.
Me too.
And I also got new editing software also. I've been playing around with Filmora.
Nice.
I'm not convinced that I want to keep that as my primary editing software because, listen, Filmora, if there's shit that I can do in the dead, unsupported Microsoft Movie Maker that I cannot do in your paid premium software, there's a problem. Like, that's all I'm gonna say. Like, there's no way for me to like fade text out so it just like gets cut. No way to fade out text. No way to fade out any titles or anything. And like I looked for it, I was like, am I just missing something? There's no way that they don't have this feature.
I am shocked.
They don't have that feature, and it doesn't make any sense to me. I'm
and
like,
so like there are like people online being like, when are they gonna add this?
yes. And they're like, we don't currently support this feature, and I'm like,
You have to be kidding me.
you can fade text
that's
in.
Vlogging 101.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can fade text in.
Yeah.
So just do it the other way.
I don't know. It doesn't make I'm sure somebody there wrote the program and they were like, oh fuck, we made it so we can't do.
The fading guy and the fading person got sick or found another job or something like that.
And they're like, shit, I guess this feature's not gonna happen now, guys. Oh darn. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Also, something weird that Filmora does is the longer, like if I choose fade as the animation option for an item in the video, the longer I have that item on the screen, like let's say I have text that I have fading in and it's going to be on the screen for 5 seconds. The longer I make that on the screen, like if I expand it to 30 seconds, the longer Filmora automatically makes it take to fade in at the beginning.
Oh, weird.
And it doesn't make, I was like, why is that happening? That doesn't make any sense. Like, just because I have a clip that's going to be playing for a minute doesn't mean I need it to fade in for an entire 30 seconds before it shows up. Like, that's not what I wanted, Filmora. Anyways, I'm a little bit frustrated with Filmora.
Calling them out.
I'm calling them out. I'm trying some different things that are probably better but more complicated than Filmora, but it is still better than Windows Movie Maker, except for the fucking fact that you can't fade text out, so it looks really unprofessional and it's kind of bothering me a little bit.
Yeah, that's oh knows.
It just doesn't make any sense. Like, why don't you have this Filmora? You've been around for like 3 years. How have you not added this feature? Like, if it was a brand new software or whatever, I'd be like, okay, maybe they didn't realize like how important it was to video creators or whatever, which is like, why do you not know your market? But if you've been around for 3 years and you have a paid product, how do you not have like a basic ass feature that like every single other free video editing software has?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. I don't understand Filmora. I simply do not. Explain yourself. Anyways. Explain yourself to me. Anyway, I'm gonna check comments because I've been doing this for a while. I'm not doing the 24-hour stream. That's not happening, by the way.
I mean, we can leave the camera running.
I will be sleeping for 10 hours of that.
Yeah. I mean, you're not gonna get to see her sleep because we're not Greyhound.
So Evelyn asked if I would offer my Aftergear hoodies or sweaters with the text on the back. So there's the only item that I know of that Teespring offers the text on the back is the zip-up hoodies, which I don't currently have in my store. So I would like to do that. I just don't. There's not really that many items that Teespring offers where you can actually do the screen printing on the back. But that is a good idea, though. It's just not something that like Teespring wants to have happen.
This is my aftercare hoodie. This is my. No.
I don't know where that was going.
I was doing a ducky thing. I'm like,
Oh,
I don't think duckies take
this is
those.
a Taco Bell.
Yeah, this is a Taco Bell. This is a Power Ranger.
Somebody asked about where to recommend buying BDSM toys. I got a Tumblr
On
post
the
for you.
internet.
Literally
It's
on the
full.
internet. It's fucking Google anything. I was looking at arm binders
Etsy.
last night. Let me tell you.
You saw an arm binder you liked?
I was looking for arm binders I like. I found one that I'm like not sure about. Yeah, I like
I
theirs.
think I may get one from them.
I need one. I kind of want one that I can do what I can do like this. Like I have my arms up, and I'm worried that like the ones that have the shoulder straps that just go like here, like you can't. Like I'm worried about if you put the arms too far back and up, that like the shoulder straps would slip off. I don't know if that's like a thing. It's a worry that I have among my many
you wanna do
worries.
Strapato in it. No, I don't think. You may like the leather may slide a little bit, and it may, but yeah, a lot of them buckle in the front to like keep the straps together.
Backpack.
Yeah. There's always staples.
Probably not good for the leather.
Or the skin, because then you're forcing. Never use a medical staple through like foreign material. People. You can staple
Yes.
and then put ribbon.
Oh, and I should clarify. So, the PO box. This is not gifts I've gotten. These are things I've bought like for YouTube. FYI, I'm not cool enough. I'm not cool enough to be like, hey guys, look at all this free shit that people send me. Like that's
Do you want me to talk about the things up there
what.
that you got sent?
Oh well, I did get sent. Somebody was really kind and they sent me a bunch of
You want me to grab them? Okay.
because I
Do you
don't
want me
want
to
to
grab
eat
you
them.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want me to get you Snacko.
Like not macaroons, the other ones that I like.
Marzipan's.
Marzipans. I got some marzipans. If she wants to do an arm restraint where she could do the Naruto run, called out. I mean, you could probably do like for pony play or whatever, have the arm binder in the back and like.
Yeah.
I know that I've seen that.
You really, honestly, those Strapatos, like possibly the most dangerous position for someone to be in.
Oh, I know. I've done Strapato before,
Yeah.
and like my foot has been like.
I'm not saying that for you. I'm saying that for them.
Oh.
Because like it's all too easy to fall forward and then dislocate something.
I got a
Yeah.
marzipan. This is an orange.
This
is a marzipan.
Orange, a pan. This is a Chevy truck. No ducky. We love to be a ducky.
He's funny.
Yeah.
Why didn't you guys make challenge vids? I don't know, because
That's a dumb YouTube.
it's a dumb YouTube thing and I don't want to eat Tide Pods. Like if it was old YouTube and it was fun challenges. Now it's just trick people into thinking you're about to kill yourself by pretending to eat Tide Pods. I'm not about
I
that.
wanted to do a scene. We've got a friend of ours who's like a professional chef, and I was like trying to figure out how to make like gelatin Tide Pods and then do a scene where I like force feed them to people, but it was like a lot of work. So I gave up.
Some ideas aren't just meant to be.
But it's true. Some dreams, they should just die.
That's what being a dominant really is. How do you be a good dominant? Step 1, crush your ego.
Be honest.
Can crush your ego be step 2?
Sure.
I'm gonna make that video. Well, actually, no. I already have a video about how to be a better dominant,
Yeah.
and I feel like I could have included things like leave the
Like,
ego at the door.
Yeah, I mean, ego is... I wouldn't put it as crush your ego, just from my opinion. Because
Oh no, this is me being sassy. This is
Oh,
not how
okay,
I would.
I gotcha.
This is not me in the EV educator making a serious
this
comment.
Is Evie in the,
This is Evie and
dinner
sassy.
hasn't been provided for Evie
Yes,
yet,
this is
so,
EV like food,
Yeah.
dinner.
Yeah, what do you... Yeah. Okay, let's order you food. Fine. We'll feed you, I guess, this one.
Oh, somebody asked me earlier. I totally forgot to answer this, but somebody asked me what kind of puppy I am.
Oh,
Pomeranian.
good one.
Pomeranian.
She go on.
I watch Pomeranian videos and I'm like, yes, I want to be them. So fluffy and small.
Sometimes she's a bigger version of Pomeranian. No.
Sometimes I'm basically different scales of Pomeranian like I'm like small Pomeranian or like Pomeranian like dog who's larger in size. But small fluffy.
There's other dogs barking outside.
I thought I'd assist Corgi. I don't want him to feel alone.
Yeah.
I wanna
There you go.
I wanna make sure I have a relationship with Corgi where he feels like I support him in his endeavors.
Aww. He endeavors quite often.
Gosh, I just don't know. There's so many options.
Swallow choice.
Would Sir prefer to pick, and then Evie can keep answering questions, so she doesn't have to
Is
spend.
there anything he is wanting or not wanting?
Not in particular. She probably wouldn't feel like breakfast food, but that's
Okay.
probably it.
No breakfast food. I gotcha.
Thank you.
Do you want to do the place of the good veggie burgers?
We can do that, yeah.
Okay. Here.
Evie beat Jeffree Star's palms. Let's be real. I mean, that's the entire reason why I shared that video series with Mr.
Yeah.
Texas. I was like, he has
He's a millionaire.
6 Pomeranians, and they're all named cute names like Diva.
Yeah.
And I think one of them's named Daddy, actually, which is really
Of
funny.
course.
I don't know. He has a bunch of dogs, and you can tell that he loves the dogs. And
Yeah.
I like it when people like dogs.
He likes dogs. People. I know.
And I like watching videos where I can watch the kind of dog
We
that I
have,
am.
it was prepared for camping, but actually on my phone there's like a list of aftercare videos for Evie, and quite a few of them are pets. I do have on my phone the super cute animals video, where the VO person waits for the hummingbird to peep.
I saw that one the other day, and I was like,
Don't interrupt the peep.
don't do it. Do-do-do-do.
So it's everybody's weekend plans.
Ba-da-da-da.
You figured it out.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
It's one thing I've seen OBS can do is it can auto duck music, so we could actually just have like a music track that's just always going in the background that's just like super quiet until like dead air happens, and then it just
I love
like,
it. I love it. I'm gonna look through and see if I can find some better music to play in the background.
Mhm. Did you get onion rings?
No, I got the fries.
Okay, you got okay.
I was like, I've tried the
You
onion
need some
rings.
vegetables, and so you know.
I
And
like
I think there's mac and cheese in the fridge.
what?
Yeah.
Yes. I love it. Trying to actually. Is it a better lens than this because this lens is lit? I don't know because this is a different
It's
camera,
comparable.
different sensor. It's comparable, but do you know what the frame size is for your lens? Is it like a 15 or?
That's a prime. It's a prime portrait. It's an actual Sony lens. Most of the lenses I get for this are like off-brand because just price performance. This is the one I did splurge on, so I think it's 50 millimeter with a 3/4 frame. Probably,
So that'd be 25.
yeah.
So that's kind of, this is actually, so this is like why, this is good for live streaming, but like trying to film this far away, like while doing an actual video, just felt really weird because I couldn't actually see how much time I had left to record in the viewfinder because it was too far away.
So the way I record with this is actually the laptop itself does the recording. Because Sony cameras actually output higher quality than they record with.
That's crazy.
422 versus 420. So,
Unbelievable.
and what we could actually do is we could mirror it onto the television. OBS lets you output like what's being streamed on like another source. So
That's crazy.
we can do that.
That's amazing.
Abada.
So hopefully it's similar because I think it sounds like it's similar. Should have a similar effect, but we'll see. I mean, if people really like this setup, like, then fucking we'll do stuff with it. I'm sure we'll.
I'm tempted. I don't know if something were to happen in the next couple of months where perhaps someone had more access to my recording equipment, I might end up upgrading to the
To the new hotness.
Not exactly the new hotness. It's like I feel like it's almost like the A6500 is like a bunch of vloggers use it, but you know what? There's a reason they use it.
That's good.
So.
Da, da, da. Is that Orchard corsets? No, that was Mystic City corsets.
Orchard's
They're on
good though.
Etsy.
You've gotten stuff from them, right?
No, I haven't. Isabella Corsetry is where I've gotten the corsets from. There's so there's two really similarly named places, and one is Orchard Corsetry, and then one is Orchard Corsets, I think. Very different price points and quality wise. I have never ordered anything from Orchard Corsets because I've heard mixed things in terms of like if it's actually good quality and actual good boning, so I've never bought anything from them, but price wise this was very comparable. I got this on sale for I think like $60, which is pretty good for like a number of bones that are in it and the size and all that stuff. So the owner of the store actually is very easy to get a hold of. I actually talked to her on Etsy and gave her my measurements, and she actually suggested 3 specific corset models, because that's sort of Mystic City Corsets, which is again where I got this corset from, is known most for the variety of silhouettes that they offer. Like Orchard Corsets is like I think 5 or 6 main silhouettes. This store has like 30 plus, and they actually tailor different corsets to different measurements. So if you have like an inverted triangle or a triangle or an apple or a pear or an hourglass or a ruler or whatever, and especially for like men's corsets as well.
Nice.
They offer different silhouettes based on your natural proportions, and then go from there based on your corsetting experience and how big of a reduction that you want and how, all that factors. And you can actually directly message the owner with your measurements and everything, and she'll determine for you the waist size to get and the model number or the style number to get that has the particular different silhouette to it and the particular different measurements basically that'll work. And so that was one of the ones that she recommended. There were a couple others, but they didn't have the colors that I wanted in stock. So depending on how much I like this one, I may invest in one that's a little bit fancier. Because there was one in a particular silhouette that had like a rib shape to it and had like a cut to it on the top that I don't have in any of my other corsets that may look better with certain outfits that I'd like to wear corsets with, but my current corsets that I own don't really work for them, so we'll see. Anyways, that's my corset story and I'm sticking to it.
Evie, passionate about many things. Doggos and corsets, and that's it.
Only those things.
And skincare.
Somebody asked, what is my favorite way to elicit a punishment for Mr. Tex?
That's
One,
an easy question to
I
answer.
don't. 2, hey, do you want to do this thing?
Yep. Let's do it. Right now?
So I have
you wanna do it
this
here?
idea. So I have this idea I'd really like to do, and I really like it if maybe we could do something where that's how we.
Yeah. How long are you expecting? How long do you want it to last?
Forever.
Okay.
I want this feeling to last forever.
I do too, but feeling
But
that
time
is-
marches on and so
my
does
ability to
Alzheimer's.
feel things is dead. I feel love.
Baby, come
I
back.
feel love for you.
You can blame it on me. Anyways, the way that I elicit punishment, the way that I ask for play, which is really what it is
You
I
asked for play.
as I ask for play. I don't always do it as much as I need to, or as much as I should, or in the way that I should.
That
I'm
is
not perfect with it. We're trying.
And
we're growing.
on the flip side, there are often times where I don't either. Where like it would be good for my energy to do something with Evie, and I am just not in a good headspace to actually ask for things I need. It's a shitty part of being human. We deal, and we love each other.
We all learn and we grow and we work on our communication.
That's basically it.
Yeah.
90% of kink is vanilla communication.
Like, I think people, like, the best way that I know of to make kink work for you and, like, work for your partners is not necessarily doing things like trying to elicit punishments or, like, trying to get people to, quote-unquote, punish you or, like, seek punishments. Like, if that's your dynamic, and especially if you're brat, that can work. But I find that unless you have that, like, specific dynamic type, and that is a type of power exchange you like doing, it's really good to practice, like, directly asking your partners for what you want and not acting out to get your needs met. Because if your partner and you haven't really communicated and stated that you specifically want to have a dynamic that is based around you breaking rules and then getting punished, and that's how you do scenes, most of the time doms will look at that as you you haven't negotiated for it, like not respecting the relationship, not respecting them, not really wanting to do power exchange, not caring about their feelings. You know, if they put all this energy and time into coming up with these rules and monitoring you and you just break them again and again and again, like, that's going to be seen as not respectful to the relationship, which is why it's really important that you talk about what you want to do and what your intent is before you decide you're going to act in that specific way. And you don't need to act bratty as a submissive to get punished. And you don't, I think it's just, I guess what I'm trying to get at is I don't want to make it seem like or to promote an environment where in order to get your needs met as a submissive, the route to do that is through acting out.
And I will say a lot of times, like, and this is definitely not universal, but a lot of times people struggle with feeling authentic when they focus their play around punishment style stuff, like coming up with excuses for getting punished, is because like authenticity is really important to like the human brain, and then just like constantly making up like BS excuses to get hit, like really can feel like you're doing things the wrong way.
My car tab's expired. Punish me, Daddy.
How dare you?
Like,
How dare you let them cut a switch? Good old puppy-sized switch.
I'll bite it off the tree.
Yeah. Oh my god, now I want to do a really dark puppy play scene. Like, yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's planned. That's in there. That's getting planned.
And that's how you negotiate a scene. No, it's not.
No. That's how you kind of like workshop a scene.
Yeah, that's how you like, hey, so I had this idea, scale of 1 to 10, how fucked up is it?
Yeah.
So anyways, that's basically being authentic, being, open to the idea of like just practicing your communication skills and like learning how to like ask for what you want or bring up ideas. And I know for a lot of times people that gets intimidating because as a person who's the submissive, you can be like, well, I don't want to ask, I don't want to like impose on my partner because I don't want to like, they're the dominant or whatever. But it's like if you're already breaking the rules to get punished or you're misbehaving to get punished, like you're already doing that. So you might as well do it in a way that's like more proactively communicated and more likely to be like better received for the majority of dominance. And it's also probably going to be better for you because if you're not actually asking for something specific that you need, like the punishment could turn out to be anything. Potentially, if you act out to get punished, and what you really need is a spanking, but then your dom decides that caning is going to be your punishment, you're not really getting what you want.
Caning or like corner time.
Yeah, exactly. So like basically, you are more likely long term to have greater success if you learn how to use
your words.
this.
Evie. Oh, you get in trouble with their barker. submissives in trouble. Oh well. Evie actually enjoys getting submissives in trouble.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite. But I'm not a tattletale. I only do it in nice ways.
Yeah. You're just like, hey, I heard this person really hates this, and I happen to have one.
Do
Here
you want
go.
it? I'm not saying you should do anything with it, but here's an idea.
Mm-hmm.
So I found that this person has this really intense phobia. Here's an idea that I have.
Yeah. And I've bought a box of 10,000 of them. Okay, I can't let this game tilt me, but I may
Don't get
beat
tilted.
it for the first fucking time.
Wreck it.
I think I just fucked myself by saying that.
People are talking about geese, and I'm trying to figure out where
Oh,
the
there's Goose Game.
goose game? What's that?
That could be fun to the stream. You basically play, it's like a open world stealth action game where you're a goose.
Oh, people are talking about, what about those cats that honk? Is that a thing that happens?
Cats that honk. Yeah! It's like a breed, right, that have
I did not know that.
vocalization, I think.
Honk, 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 honk. That's me doing
Well, because
like
actually,
this.
like, most big cats don't purr.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they honk. You know, like, yes, the noble lion, hear his honking. Like,
Oh, if people have never heard a cougar, it's ridiculous. And, like, considering how lethal cougars are, the fact that they sound that way, I find, is like one of God's great jokes.
I don't know what that noise was, but I tried my best.
You did your best. Come on, no. No. Can't lose this now. I'm letting the game tilt me, Evie.
Don't get tilted!
It tilted me. Oh my god.
Get re-tilted the other way.
Okay. Yes, maybe. Oh my god. Fuck. Level 98 out of 100. Just breathe. I have to process. I need to learn.
I will look up honking cats after the stream because I'm kind of worried I'll just Google it and I'll be lost on Google.
You know, a 6-hour stream could be really fun because we can do like a lot of the ridiculous shit that OBS lets you do. Like we could have like we could view like we could look at Pomeranian pictures for like 2 hours together.
We can show them on the stream. We can be like, hey, there's this cute pupper.
You can't just be like, we found a cute pupper.
I could react to other YouTubers' videos.
Oh.
No, I don't want to do that.
Let's.
I thought about it and I thought, who would I react to? Onision? No. Like it's a donkey. Beg for jet? No.
Whoa. I mean.
I sometimes I occasionally get the urge to just be like, what if I just did a play-by-play of like everything he says in his videos are just wrong.
Yeah.
Then I'm giving him a view. I don't want to give him a view. That's not fair.
Yeah. No, and it's also like I'm about to say, oh my god, it's here. Yes, Evie. Level 1.
You,
Starts you at the beginning, and I just lost. No, I'm fine.
Mr. Texas is playing a game.
Oh my god. But we should. I'll show you the goose game after the stream because I think it's something Evie might at least enjoy watching.
Hilarious.
Mhm.
Okay. So FYI, guys, we have about 15 minutes left.
That's
So
true.
if anybody has questions that I've not answered yet, especially from the very beginning, because I did not necessarily read all the ones at the beginning because I'm a bad person, feel free to re-ask them now, and I will get to them before we end, hopefully.
Evie intentionally doesn't ask questions so she can get punishment. No. Yeah, there you go, Honda.
What game is Mr. Tex playing?
Luminous.
Luminous.
Thank you for asking. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. I see you.
He sees you, but in a consensual way.
Right. Exactly.
Super new subscribers. Wanted to say you guys have a great dynamic. Told us lots of
Aw.
love and fun. Whoa, that's true.
Yeah.
That's why I like puppers, is because
Yep.
they're nice. Oh my god, there's a whole other 2 things I didn't unwrap yet. Gosh,
Oh,
guys.
actually, yeah, I remember seeing that, and I was like, oh, she just got really excited about it. To be fair, y'all, she's been really excited about doing it.
I've been talking about it for a long time, getting a new lens and getting new stuff, and I was like, I can actually do it now, and I researched it. I don't know how many reviews I watched on YouTube of different comparisons and different reviews of everything, and I was like, I gotta commit. I gotta commit to committing.
And I really, like, genuinely, this is like from me, and I know you feel this way, but like personally for me, I am very grateful to all our Patreon supporters.
I am so
And like, y'all have no idea, like, a little bit more support and you will unleash the beast that is you.
Suffice to say, to answer Unbidden Quill's question, that will happen depending on Patreon stuff. Will we move in together? That depends on how Patreon keeps going. Because basically I'm in a position right now where it's like, I live really far away, but I have to have my vanilla job, because my vanilla job is how I pay for my rent. And in order to be able to leave that situation, I have to make enough money on Patreon to where I can move in and then focus on finding a job, because there's no way I can do full-time work, do YouTube, do Patreon, and then also look for another job at the same time.
But,
I tried doing that for about 2.5, 3 months. I did a lot of interviews. I would get through rounds 1, 2, and 3. I would wait for a job offer, and then they would tell me that they accepted somebody else. So I decided I was just going to wait, and I was going to try again later, because it was getting really demoralizing. So that's Matt. What do I think of the YouTube beauty community drama happening right now? Which drama, though?
He lives on it.
I live on
He just gets it directed.
Direct to the bloodstream.
Yeah.
I don't really know, because there is so much drama. Is it the one where the people who were friends with Jeffree Star had a bunch of tweets dug up where they said super racist and like not super great things? Because if that's what you're talking about, I think this is why nobody who's a public figure should have a Twitter. That's my answer.
Yeah.
Twitter is the best and the worst thing as like a public figure, because unless you intentionally go back and delete a lot of old tweets, eventually somebody will find something really offensive that you said 10 years ago, and it will come back. For better or for worse, whether or not it's good or bad to judge them by those tweets. Because I haven't seen them, and so I don't really know what they say. But it's one of those things where it's like, it's on the internet, and it's there forever, and be careful with what you say, and don't be a piece of shit.
Yeah, like,
Drama.
Patton Oswalt, this is like almost 5 years ago, he had this like comedic series of, wait, what?
Wait, a game thing happened?
I think it decided I was done.
Is that like when you get through a certain level of Donkey Kong and it just stops?
Yeah, it's just like, you're done now.
So in terms of the YouTube beauty community drama, the other thing that I heard of was like, there was a situation, which actually I think you might find interesting, because it relates to legal schmeagle stuff.
It's drama.
You'll inhale it. We like watching Project Roman together, by the way, guys.
That's true. We're one season behind.
We're one season behind. But that's because we were so shattered by the season before that
It was
emotionally.
an unfortunate season.
We were like, we need a break emotionally from this TV show.
They just made some fucking obnoxious decisions.
Don't get tilted.
I'm tilted. It's too late. They tried to tilt me. I almost tilted, and then I held it straight. And then now I'm thinking of Project Runway and the bullshit. And
What Jeffree Star did is basically he said that he he said he had a trademark on some like phrase he would use for the beginning of his videos, like it was like Jeffree's honest take or something, and like apparently there was some like Malaysian or like Taiwanese something, I don't remember, some like East Asian, really small, like specific YouTuber for a specific region that like used kind of the same wording in her titles of like her like channel names, honest review or whatever. And Jeffree was like, she can't do that, it's a trademark phrase, blah blah blah. And apparently, one, he didn't actually have it trademarked. Two, even if he did, it wouldn't matter because she wasn't calling it Jeffree's honest review. She was using her own name, so it's not.
It's not a trademark phrase.
But it's Jeffree Star. I mean, he runs his oon business. You think he'd understand how trademarks work?
If you can't get a copyright for something, don't try trademarking it.
He thought he had a thing that he didn't have, and then you can look that shit up on the internet, and he didn't realize he was gonna get called out for lying. Maybe he thought he did, but what he did end up doing is after he said that he did have a thing on it, he ended up filing for it like 2 days later. And then he also ended up filing something for a phrase that another beauty YouTuber uses. I thought that was really interesting. And basically, Jeffree Star is an interesting person, human, alien creature.
That's the problem with like YouTubers with too much money is you can find a lawyer who will just do dumb shit you ask them to.
You're like, yeah, will you pay me a little bit of your infinite wealth?
Yeah.
I will do dumb shit for you. Actually, no, I'll talk about this after the stream's over. But I saw something else that was like a weird legal thing that I learned about.
I have a picture I want to show you. It does have labias in it, but
I will be careful to not show it on the stream.
yeah. I know that.
I don't think that would be EV compatible necessarily.
Yeah, that's kind of-
Oh, I see. It's connected to the garters.
Yeah.
I see.
It's holding the cars.
Well, gosh, that's intense.
Yes.
Patton Oswalt did something problematic. Somebody's asking about that. I don't know. I don't know who that
He
is.
did these tweets that were like started out like they sounded offensive and then finished like in a way that wasn't. So a bunch of people like dug up just the offensive parts. So it's like people are looking at Twitter like, yeah, don't y'all. It's good they got rid of GeoCities because that cleaned a lot of people's slates. All right, you keep going. I'm gonna be quiet over here.
What does standing mean? I've heard people
stan.
STANNING. What's that?
So stan is where you very much passionately endorse a position. Usually, sometimes I think it's mostly a person, but it's a position, even though
So you can be a stan?
it's wrong.
What do you mean?
Like, I'm trying to think of like good.
Wait, even though it's wrong? So
like,
wait.
I totally stan Patton Oswalt. It's just like where you like something kind of despite.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, I think Shane Dawson's series on Jeffree Star made him a lot more relatable as a human, because I fucking hated Jeffree Star before I watched that series, and I actually, like, got to see him be a person as opposed to, like, this weird boss level figure of the beauty community, and I was like, maybe he's not entirely, like, a fucked up person. And then he does, like, all this stuff with, like, the copyright issue and, like, calling out his, like, old friends, and, like, it's just weird. He's a mixed bag of a person in terms of, like, you can't really commit to being like, yeah, he's decent. Because he's done enough stuff to where I'm like, but is that really okay, Jeffree? But is that really okay? I don't know. Anyways, I'm opening this thing that I got.
You. Destroy the packaging.
I got a little turban. I have one that's kind of similar to this, but it's not the same, and so I'm gonna wear it. My little turban. I need to figure out how to style it, and like, I'm thinking of wearing this when I'm having a bad hair day. I need to put my hair up, but we'll see. Got a little turban. Oh, it's about a super fan. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Now I know. Super fan. So people are asking about anxiety and like getting involved in the BDSM community.
What's up?
People are asking about anxiety and getting involved in the BDSM community. And I think my best advice that I can give is I did put out a video like a year ago now. Oh, that's nice. Thank you. So if you're introverted and you're shy, I do have a video. Hi. I do have a video where I talk about how to survive going to BDSM events as like an introverted or an anxious or a shy person. And I also have another video coming out in another couple weeks that's going to be about communication tips for people who are shy and anxious and get, worried about sharing feelings and stuff with their partner.
Yep.
So hopefully those will be good resources if you want to check out how to be better. I'm opening this. This is actually the thing that I'm most excited about beyond the lenses and the lens and there's noodles in it.
That's all you got.
Noodle. I'm putting the noodles with the packing peanuts. Do you think noodles and packing peanuts have a rivalry, or are they the same?
I think honestly the noodles, or the packing peanuts don't care about the noodles, because the packing peanuts are used like everything. They need to get fancy chocolates.
No contact lenses.
What's that?
But they're wrapped. They're wrapped. They're contact lenses. I got they do look like little noodles for everybody. I feel like I should save these noodles and like use them for some BDSM thing, but I haven't figured out what yet. Making people pick them up individually off the floor and like scattering them around somewhere. I don't know. I have ideas, not solid ideas, not good
Well, we had a
ideas.
friend of ours who like cut off someone's pearl necklace and made them pick up each bead and like count it.
Yes, that would be something our friend would do.
Yes.
Packing peanuts and other things go back in the box, please. I'd rather have this little crinkly stuff than the corgi fur though, because this is like it's easy to see and like it's
Well, if we had a
recyclable. Corgi fur is not recyclable. So I got a bunch of contact lenses. That's the other thing. But unfortunately, I have to soak these for like a day or 12 hours or something before I can actually put them in. So I will have to try these on later, and then maybe I will do a video or do another live stream where I show how they look. Because I got, I'm really excited to see how they look. Because I have a friend who wears lenses I didn't even realize wore lenses, and I was like, your eyes look so beautiful, what lenses do you wear? And she's like, oh, I recommend this one brand. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna try that. Because I wanted to wear lenses again, because that lets me do more different makeup looks. YouTube. And I like changing the color of my eyes, because my eyes are brown, and brown is, well, I guess they're not actually brown, because I have green in them. But yeah. But that's that.
It's a good one.
It's a good one. Don't know why I did that. Anyways, I think we're at the time now.
Shut it all down before food shows up and the corgi loses his shit.
Yes, let's end the stream now before the chaos begins.
Chaos stream. All right.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for coming. Bye.